Who are you really? A name, a story, a body you carry through time? Or are you something far deeper, something the world cannot see, but your soul has always known? Ibn Arabi, the great Sufi master, taught that the self we cling to, this I we defend, protect, and polish every day, is only a shadow. It is not your true essence. It is the illusion that blinds you from what you were created for. He said, "The human being is a mirror. When the mirror is clouded with ego, you see only distortions. But when it is polished with remembrance, with humility, and with surrender, it reflects nothing but Allah." So, what does that mean for you? It means the self you think you are, your pride, your fears, your attachments, is not the real you. The real you is the spirit Allah breathed into you. The self is a veil, but behind the veil lies the truth. And here is the paradox. To discover your true self, you must lose the self you think you are. This is why Ibn Arabi said that annihilation of the ego is not death, it is birth. The death of illusion is the beginning of real life. In this video, we begin the journey into the illusion of the self. We will explore how your ego creates false identities, how silence and surrender polish the mirror of the heart, and how the true self is revealed not as you, but as the reflection of the one who created you. We spend our lives building an image, the one people recognize, the one we defend. This image is our ego. It is shaped by memories, by praise, by fear of rejection. But Ibn Arabi says, this is not you. This is only a shadow cast upon the mirror of your soul. When you say, "This is who I am," are you speaking of the eternal you or the temporary costume you wear in this world? The false self is loud, restless, and always hungry. But the true self, the soul breathed by Allah, is silent, steady, and eternal. Ibn Arabi compared the human being to a mirror. If the mirror is covered in dust, you cannot see the reality it reflects. The dust is ego, pride, jealousy, fear, desire. Polish the mirror with remembrance, with patience, with trust, and the reflection becomes clear. The heart is not meant to shine with its own light. It is meant to reflect the light of Allah. But most of us mistake the dust for the mirror itself. We polish the false self, but never uncover the truth behind it. The greatest illusion of the self, Ibn Arabi says, is the belief that you are separate from Allah. The ego whispers, "I am independent, I am in control, I am the center." But reality whispers, "You are a servant, you are dependent, and you are nothing without the one who sustains you." When you forget this, life feels heavy, burdens multiply, and silence feels unbearable. But when you remember, the heart finds peace, because it returns to its source. Ibn Arabi calls this stage Fana, the annihilation of the ego. But do not mistake this for destruction. It is not the end of you. It is the end of illusion. The self that complains, clings, and fears, that self dies. And in its place, the true self rises, the soul that was always connected to Allah. This is why the mystics say, to die before you die, to let go of the false self so that the eternal self can awaken. In the end, Ibn Arabi reminds us, the self is not your enemy, it is your path. Your ego, with all its struggles and desires, is the very ground on which you walk toward Allah. Every fear is a mirror, every desire is a teacher, every failure is a signpost. The self you think is a prison is actually the door. When you surrender the illusion, the door opens, and what you find beyond it is not a new self, but the truth that has always been there, Allah's presence within you. From the moment you are born, the world gives you names. You are called son, daughter, student, professional. And slowly you begin to believe that these roles are you. But Ibn Arabi teaches that this is only the shell, a mask the soul wears while walking through time. The ego is addicted to identity. It says, I am my achievements, I am my pain, I am my story. But look deeper. These things change every day. What happens when the story changes? Does the you vanish? No. The true self remains untouched. The false self shouts for recognition, craving applause, fearing rejection. But the true self does not need an audience. It is content in silence because its value comes only from Allah. Ibn Arabi often compared the heart to a mirror. Imagine a mirror covered in dust. It reflects nothing clearly. The dust is ego, pride that blinds you, jealousy that poisons you, fear that chains you, desire that distracts you. Most people spend their lives polishing the dust itself, protecting the ego, defending its image. But the Sufi path is different. It is not polishing the dust. It is wiping it away completely. When the heart is clean, it reflects the light of Allah without distortion. You realize that the soul is not meant to shine by itself. It was created to reflect, to become the clear glass through which the divine light passes. And here lies the illusion. You think the mirror is producing the light. But in truth, it is only reflecting what has always been there. The greatest illusion of the self, Ibn Arabi says, is the belief that you exist apart from Allah. Your ego whispers, I am in control, I decide, I own my life. But reality whispers, you are dependent, fragile, passing. You own nothing, not even your breath. Think of the times your mind was restless, your heart heavy, your life chaotic. What was the root of the pain? It was not reality itself. It was the illusion of separation. You thought you were alone, carrying everything by yourself. But Ibn Arabi reminds us, Allah was never far. It was only your ego that made the distance. To live inside the illusion is to live in constant struggle. The mind creates endless scenarios. What if I fail? What if I lose? What if they reject me? But the soul does not ask, what if? The soul simply knows, I belong to Allah, and to Him I return. And when this knowledge moves from the mind into the heart, fear loses its power, because the illusion of the separate self begins to dissolve. This is why Ibn Arabi speaks of Fana, the annihilation of the ego. But do not misunderstand. This is not the death of you, it is the death of illusion. The self that clings, complains, and controls. That self must fade. And when it fades, the true self awakens, the Ruh, the Spirit, the breath of Allah within you. This is the paradox of the path. To find yourself, you must lose yourself. To truly live, the ego must die. The mystics call this die before you die. Because when the false self ends, life truly begins. And what rises in its place is not an isolated I, but a being that knows it was always one with its source. So who are you really? Not the story you tell, not the mask you wear, not even the thoughts running endlessly in your mind. You are the soul that Allah breathed into you. And the false self, this illusion of I, is only a veil meant to be lifted. When the ego falls silent, the heart awakens. And in that silence, you discover what was always there. Not distance, not fear, but nearness. The nearness of Allah. Ibn Arabi said that the journey is not about becoming something new. It is about remembering what you already are. You are not separate. You are not alone. Your essence has always been connected to Him. The illusion of the self is heavy. But once you see through it, you realize it never had power. It was only a shadow, and behind that shadow, light was waiting. So who are you? You are the mirror. You are the witness. You are the soul that reflects Allah's light. If this journey touched you, then know, it is only the beginning. Here, on Ibn Arabi's legacy, we walk through the teachings of the mystics, through silence, remembrance, and divine wisdom. Subscribe, stay with us, and let's continue this path together. Because in every step, in every breath, the question remains, who are you really?